All right, hey everybody, how you doing? It's Johnny Valdez, and welcome to the Veteran SA podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Miss Tori.
Welcome
So,
back.
welcome back. It's October. It's a really good month. We're going to talk about some great stuff today. But first, let's pay homage to our sponsor, Game Day. Game Day Men's Health. Looking to get right, looking to get tight. Get with Mr. Vern, and he'll get you suited up. They just opened up, announced that they are looking for space in New Braunfels. So if you're out in your Broncos, you're listening to them, go check out, look for Game Day Men's Health out there.
There you go.
So
And
they
if you've watched our previous episodes, you'll notice that Johnny has drastically slimmed down. Very proud of you.
a little bit,
Not
little bit.
drastically.
It's a little bit
He
of
has a
the.
six pack now. I'm very proud of
Oh
him.
my
Thanks
god!
to Game Day Men's Health.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, yes, I did.
He has so much more energy now.
Much more energy. I dropped about the last 2 months. I dropped about 27 pounds.
I'm waiting for them to get on the women's vibe here.
They do got some women vibe there with the peptides and all that stuff. I'm telling you, go check out Vern. So if you got any questions about your testosterone or men's health or just your health in general as a man and a woman, check out Vern over at Game Day Men's Health in Alamo Ranch. And then we have a special also partner that we just partnered with, Mar Azul Tequila. Yay! So you can see them here with us. They got their Bohica tequila. And if you notice, the bottles, which really caught my eye, is the canteen bottle. So we'll have them on the show today. We're going to get their backstory. Going to tell you about how they came up with the idea of the canteen and all that good stuff. And they have so many varieties of tequila. That's amazing. I can't wait to talk about the chocolate too. Oh my God, I love the chocolate tequila. It sounds weird, but it's good. I'm telling you. All right. So moving on in. So we have our hero spotlight of the month.
Yes.
You did a great article. So tell us a bit about our hero spotlight for the month.
Yes. So, my friend Lacey Greer, she's an Air Force veteran. I just so happened to be on another nonprofit board with her, a female executives of Texas, and that was one thing that her and I always bonded on is, both of our time in service. So she is awesome. She is extremely smart. We actually need to hit her up because she writes grants.
Oh,
So we definitely need to talk about her. She's very smart. She did Intel. She's doing Intel now as a civilian on top of having her own business, helping people write grants. Very smart. She does our blogs and things of that nature for the other nonprofit. So definitely check that out. She's a big asset. She has a lot of things going on here in San Antonio.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great to have different veterans from all different walks of life and different things that they're going on, especially if they're connected to the community so well. I mean, that's always great to highlight those people to make sure that they get the recognition that they want, looking that they need,
Yes.
and to help them find people to support them and stuff
Yes,
like
and
that.
she actually has her own podcast, which I mentioned in the article, and it is actually talking about getting into business. So for any of those
Nice.
veterans who are curious, who want to know more on career building, transitioning out, she would be a very good podcast. I apologize, I do not know the name of it at the
Oh
moment,
my
but it
God.
will be in the article, so make sure to pick it up.
So pick up the magazine for sure. So that's your leeway. Thanks for pushing the magazine.
There you
So pick
go.
up the magazine and subscribe online and check out the article. Check out all the great resources on there. And true fact that it is the number one thing for veteran success is entrepreneurship. So maybe picking up some tips on how to start a business, what business is right for you, that kind of stuff. You're picking up that kind of information. That is truly the number one area that vets are seeing success is entrepreneurship. So awesome. Yeah. So go ahead and pick that up and check out that article. And then, hey, and two, chime us in, hey, if you got another person that you're interested in that may be doing something great in the community, you can email us at info@veteransa.com and, share the person that you are referring to so we can highlight them as well. So Dr. Coronado's mental health article this month is talking about resilience and mind body wellness. So she's talking about doing things like exercising, yoga, things like that. I'm not a yoga person. I'm not flexible. I got bad hips, bad knees, bad back.
You should probably
Pretty
try
much.
yoga then.
Probably. I thought about the hot yoga. And then on the east side, there used to be a place called I can't remember the name. It was on Cherry Street. They had good wings. They did goat yoga, like randomly goat
Oh,
yoga.
there's a few places that do
I
that.
was like, what the heck? I was driving by the east side on Cherry Street, and I see goats and yoga people. I'm like, what the heck is going on to the east side?
They also have
So-
puppy yoga, which would be horrible
Oh.
because I would leave with all the dogs.
Yeah, I want puppy yoga too. I do. I do want puppy yoga too. So she talks about other things like Tai Chi, mindfulness meditation, things like that to be able to, you know, help with that wellness and mind, body, and soul kind of thing. So definitely tune into that and check out the article and pick up those great resources from her. And then October. So September 15th to October 15th, or typically October, is Hispanic Heritage Month. So I know this is your forte. You know how I am. So I'm not big on the history. I'm not a history buff or anything. So, a lot of great veterans contributed to the Hispanic culture and why we've done Hispanics in general have done so much for the military, been awarded so many different awards, have done so many things in the community, even outside of the community. A lot of prominent people have pushed for veteran resources, things like that. Hispanics pushing. So, you know, mm, what's your take on Hispanic heritage and the history of it? And I know we kind of went out this the other day, and you kind of kicked my butt a little bit about it, but yeah, tell me what's your take on that?
Um, I mean, I just think, there's a lot of times we learn a lot of different things in history, and there's a lot of times that we don't learn about the people that look like us per
Mhm,
se, especially when it comes to American history.
mhm,
So I just, World War II alone had like the highest accolade recipients that were Mexican American specifically, that I think is pretty awesome. I have family that's paramilitary that did amazing things. I'm sure other people do as well,
mhm,
especially in a community that is a large Hispanic population, such as San Antonio. It's always good, right, to see
mhm,
what people that share our heritage have done. Think people that we can look up to, and that we can see that accomplished great things. We can have our own heroes, which is great. We like to obviously acknowledge any and all cultures that make the military as great as it is,
mhm,
especially the Navy. We're really big on diversity, and the reason that all these cultures are do well blending is because you did get different aspects of different walks of life, different languages, different cultures, different traditions, and it all kind of blends into that military as well. So definitely want to highlight those for that month, as well as tell their stories that maybe people don't know about.
Yeah, and there's some very notable people. I don't know if you've even seen like some of the freeways and schools and stuff that we have named, like Cleto Rodriguez, and he was one of the awarded the Medal of Honor for heroism in World War II. We have I think a Cleto Freeway or something like
Mhm.
that. So yeah, I mean, Richard Cavasso was the first Army's first Hispanic four-star general. uh, Was from here, San Antonio. Miguel de la Peña, he was born here in San Antonio as one of the first Army officers of Hispanic origin. So that's pretty cool. Um, Jose Trevino, the San Antonio-based artist and Vietnam veteran. Josie Garcia served 20 years, and now she's a Texas state representative. We have a lot of great people in our
You did some research. I'm
a
so
little
proud of
bit.
you.
Yes, I
You
prepped
see my little
myself.
smile. I'm
Yes,
like,
yes.
okay, Johnny.
Yes, I did a little research. I came up with some ammo in my
That's so
guns
nice
today.
of you. You know what? You get a shot.
Yes. And of course, the late great Flaco Jimenez.
Yes.
The great late Flaco Jimenez was, Tejano music star for multiple
It
years,
was
generous.
conjunto.
Conjunto, okay, okay. And but he was also, I believe, World War II or Vietnam veteran. I'm not exactly
Probably
sure.
Vietnam.
Yeah, and he did so many great things after and
That people didn't even know he
supporting.
was a veteran.
I didn't even know until he passed away. It was
Exactamente.
crazy. I was like, "What the heck?"
Like, I just thought he liked to play the
Yeah.
military.
So yeah, so definitely check out that article. We'll have tributes to a little bit of history in there. We'll have some of these names so you can check out, get some research if you want to look in your own research and things like that. So, and then we got October. Wear your pink. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Right, huge, huge thing. So many different events going out through San Antonio. Very, very prominent type of disease that's you know kind of just takes over everything and damages not just the person who has it but their families and things that they have to go through to kind of help them fight against it.
Yes.
My grandmother had it, breast cancer on both breasts, and she had to get both of them removed. But man, I'll tell you what, every time she had to go to chemo, she was like the life of the party. My grandmother, she passed away from a stroke, but she, we'd have to, push her, like, we're like 15, 16 years old, pushing her, and she's going on the via bus, and she'd be like, "Oh, there's my babe, the bus driver." I'm like, "Oh my god, por favor."
I see where you get it from.
My grandpa, Rude. My grandpa's right there. My grandpa's right there. He's crazy. He was in the war. Don't no, don't make him mad.
She's like, I'm crazy.
She's like, yep, she is. So, but she was always full of life no matter what she was going through, all the surgeries, the treatments. But I saw what it did to my mom, my aunts, my uncles, and having to treat her, help her, seeing her sick, seeing all that stuff. It takes a toll on your family.
Yeah.
So, definitely
One of our hero in the spotlights
oh,
went through that.
really?
I'm totally blanking on her name right now. She's a comedian. We will come back and put all of this information in the
Yes,
show notes.
please.
But
Yes.
one of our here in the spotlights a few months ago, who's a comedian, she went through um, a breast cancer situation as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, definitely. There's a lot of veterans
Yeesh.
that go through things, while they're in the service, and
Mhm.
since they've been out and they're getting older, definitely make sure to get yourself checked, get those
Yes, I was
mammograms
just
going
about to
on.
say mammograms going on. There's always Santa Rosa. I always see their bus driving around, a little van, whatever, doing out free mammograms. I know the VA does free mammograms. So if you're, I mean, I don't want to tell you ladies what to do. I've been in trouble so many
Check
times.
your boobies.
Check the boobies, get them done. It's free at the VA, and I know it's always uh an issue. I guess like no, I'm not gonna do it. I guess it's a fear of it. You
It's
know what
also
I mean?
known to be a painful process.
Yeah.
Put you in a machine. And it's not exactly the most
That's what I
comfortable
was getting.
thing. So
I was gonna talk like I've done it before, so I was gonna say I'm glad you chimed in on that. But that's what I've heard that it is a painful process, and a lot of people don't. A lot of women don't like doing it just for that fact.
right.
But definitely have to check because it's something that can spread fast. It's not something you want to be waiting around because early detection is always the best. So if you can get there, get it early detected, you have the highest chances of being able to remove it and all that good stuff. So, um, so that's another thing. There's also a lot of great events that are going on. There's a lot of walks. I think there is there's a breast cancer awareness event. It's going to be on west side of a 410. I think at the Caliente Harley. I think that's what it's called. October 11th. There's a run. The Is it Karen run? Karen
Susan Coleman.
Coleman. There you go. Wrong K. Coleman one. So that one's coming up pretty soon too in October, mid October. So make sure you check that stuff out. So if you want to bring awareness and then of course wearing pink throughout the month is just the international sign of just spreading awareness about breast cancer. So definitely, do that and make sure everyone please go get checked. Do us, all a favor and keep you here with us and we definitely want you around. So please do that. So please also check out the article in the magazine. It will have some great resources you can go to, some free clinics, some free resources, free information about what to do for first detection to treatments and stuff like that. We'll have all that stuff in the magazine too. All right. Then we got Quincy Harper's transition article. He's got a really interesting guy. I really like his name is Stephen Miller. He's a retired commander in the Navy. He works at a very, very prominent place. I think it wasn't mentioned in his article because I don't think he could talk about it, but it's a financial institution. It's big. It's blue, white. Has four letters in it. So I don't know if I could say it, but I just let you guess from there. But really great article. He talks about like his career. He had so many different jobs in his career. It's fitting to say, about the Navy, stuff like that. So we always wear many hats in the Navy. Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many jobs have you had in the military since you've been in?
Lord knows.
Yeah, I got NACs for days.
I really don't.
So if you know Navy NACs, yeah, if you got NACs, you've done a lot of different things. So check out his article. He always talks about great tips on transition life and um, how to go from zero to hero when he talked about getting out of the military, finding the right spot, all that good stuff. And then Mr. Miller also offers a lot of that um, really hard talk, like, the commanders they usually have that extra leadership type training things that they go through. Just a different way of thinking once you get to that certain level, you know. So it's always good to pick those minds and be able to get, you know, all that knowledge and experience, and then that military leadership training, get that out and get it for free, pretty much. So tune into that. He'll also be his guest on the civilian shift, Quincy Harper's show. So tune into his show as well to be able to see more about Mr. Miller. Then we have Dr. Natasha. She has her mental health article. They'll be talking about all the great techniques and new things that there is going on locally with cognitive therapy and things like that. So, and also they have their show. So, you need to tune in for their Doc Talk to get all that latest and greatest information. All right. And then we just have a bunch of different events going on, from Hispanic Heritage Month to Breast Cancer Month, Awareness Month. Halloween's coming up. There's be tons of Halloween party. Make a shout out to my boy Xavier freaking Rican, his key party, his key Halloween party. That's always an awesome party. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna invite you. I was gonna invite you,
Okay.
but we'll see what happens.
Oh, my land.
But it's always a good time. He had some. He used to have it at what's the bar that just closed down downtown? Pat O'Brien's.
Oh, okay. Paddle.
Yeah, he used to have it there, man. It was awesome. So this year, I don't know where he's gonna have it yet, but tune in for that. I'm gonna put that in our events. So hope, but that one's a reserve too. You got to get in there and get tickets.
Oh my goodness.
So you reach out to Frenchie, his wife, or Xavier, and they'll be able to tell you how to get tickets if you want to go. But they have costume contest. People go all out. It's super cool. It's
Oh,
pretty
well, all
fun.
right.
Yeah, so that's the spot to be towards the end of the month. Then we have our pickleball tournament.
I was wondering if you're going to mention that.
Don't worry about that. I'm all about some pickleball. So our pickleball tournament is going to be October 25th. It's going to be a trick or trunk. So bring the kids. We'll have people outside lined up giving out candy. We'll have it'll be the king of the paddle, and we'll have an amateur side, which is my side, amateurs, because I get beat by like 80-year-old people, seriously, like bad. And then they have a pro side, and you know we'll have competition, and we'll have winners, first, second, and third. We'll also have costume contests, and we'll have a team contest too for costumes. So if you want to come in your costume and play pickleball, and you can definitely do that, and you win a prize for that. We're also looking for sponsors. So if you guys are any companies out there is watching, or you know you have a pickleball group and you want to come in and sponsor, we can always use some sponsors for to help us pay for that. So anything that we do with these events, it is to raise our money for our nonprofit Combat 22, which we provide mental health services for veterans in the community here in San Antonio. So you know, definitely at least participate. I think we have room for 80 teams. The first month we had ours back in January, the first one, we had over 70 teams show up. So we have plenty of room, guys. So if you play pickleball, you want to come out, have a good time, bring the kids, and get some candy, you know, definitely come and check us out. October 25th, King of the Paddle. And you know, you can definitely reach us out on our website and to sign up for more information, but also put in the magazine. So yeah, and there's a other bunch of other great events. I know they usually have a Hispanic Heritage event down in the Tower area. When I say Hispanic Heritage, but a veteran one. So a military one, veteran one. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I put it in the magazine. So definitely look at that. And then let's move on to the next thing. I got it right here for you. Anchors away, baby. Anchors away, my boys. Anchors away. Yeah. So, October is the birthday of the most powerful Navy in the world, the U.S. Navy. 250 years. I don't have to look this up. Not like last month. Sorry, Air Force. But I do not have to look this up.
Proud of you.
Yes, yes. So 250 years old. We're the granddads of the world when it talks about Navy. You and I are both Navy. We've done the boot camps. We traveled the world, did all that. What was one of your favorite memories of serve? Well, you're still serving, but early on.
I was stationed on the Constitution, which is one of the first 6 ships when the Navy originated. And I
Damn.
learned how to furl a sail. And to climb 150 feet up in the air, you furl the sails. Not everybody can say they did that. It's pretty cool.
That's a no for me.
It's a no for
So
me, dog.
it's a no for me.
I mean, if you fall, you're still falling about 6 feet on a bungee cord, but
Yeah.
that is pretty cool. And it's still a commissioned ship. We learn all the history, which, as you know,
Mm-hmm.
I love history.
Mm-hmm.
Boston was amazing. I mean, to have that is your first duty station, and it's considered an honor guard now. So that was one of my earliest great memories.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I'm sure traveling and all that good stuff is always.
Oh, there's other things we have to
Yes.
talk about
Yeah,
offline,
yeah.
but that's one that I can talk about.
Yeah, I think mine was just my first duty station, man. It was I checked in, they're like, "Hey, don't this is your room. Don't unpack. You got to jump on a plane, meet the ship in San Diego. You're going to Rimpack." I was like, "What's Rimpack? That's cool. Sounds cool." It's Hawaii. You're in Hawaii for 3 months. Freaking there's a movie called Battleship. I don't know if you've seen it, like an alien movie. And
With Rihanna.
yeah, so Rihanna, you know how in the beginning they're like on Hawaii and they're like playing the soccer games and they're playing against all the different that's real. Like we would play against other I played basketball, so we got to play against like the Australian ships, the Canadian ships, and other stuff like that. It was pretty cool. It was my first deployment was like really cool. But some of the crazy things like SEER school, like I graduated my A school on 9/11. As I was checking out, the second plane was hitting.
I remember.
That was insane. I was like, "What's going on?" The base was shutting down. The station in Pensacola, finishing my A school, and it was crazy. And then right after that, I had to go to SEER school. So I don't know if anybody knows about SEER school, but SEER school is not fun. It's not fun at all.
Is that the one where they dropped you off and you had to walk?
Yeah, to get there. Yeah, to get there. So when I left,
Or you got on the wrong bus or something like
no,
that?
I had to from when I left Pensacola because of 9/11, there was no flights. So luckily my parents were there to see me. So we drove to San Antonio for my 2 weeks off of, you get your 2-week vacation or whatever. But then I had to go to SEER school, which is in Brunswick, Maine, and there was no flights. So they're like, "Hey, guess what, sir? You had to take the Greyhound bus from San Antonio, Texas, all the way to Brunswick, Maine." And it's like 90 something hours. And I'm in my dress whites and my sea bag going through all these cities and traveling and all this stuff. And then when I get to Brunswick, there's no bus stop. So they left me at a 7-Eleven. So I'm like 19 years old, my dress whites for the last 3 days, wearing it. And I asked the guy, "Hey, where's the base at?" He's like, "I don't know. Go ask the 7-Eleven guy." I was like, "Hey, man, do you know where the base is at?" "I don't know." I was like,
And you didn't have
"Oh,
an iPhone.
no iPhones, no Google Maps, no none of that."
You have MapQuest.
Yes. I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, "I need a printer. Can I print this out?" Yeah. So I mean, I had some great memories. But I think the most favorite memory is meeting all the people I met.
Definitely.
I mean, I've gotten friends from um, getting me chills because it's people I still talk to today, still um, you know, call really, really great friends. And then, so, I mean, even with our nonprofit, the reason why I started it, because one of my really good friends, Christopher Stewart, was an AD as well, like me, and we're also air crew as well. We served together. We deployed together. We did all this stuff. We partied together. We got in fights in bar. I mean, Navy guys, I'm not even trying to hide it. Yeah, we got in fights together. uh, you know, and we're stationed in Corpus, so we like be on the beach all the time. He's a real surfer guy. So it's definitely, I had a lot of amazing toast with a lot of great friends deployed all over the world. I think after I came back from that RIMPAC, the war started not too long ago, not too long after that, and we were gone. We were gone for 2, 3 years, going back to back. Even back in 2005, I spent a whole year overseas. Unfortunately, we lost a friend of mine, a mentor of mine, and Sir Joplin, Brian Joplin, and we lost him out there, and I had to go replace him. We were the only two. So just got back home, and I'm like, heck yeah, it's been 8 months, and then I was reenlisting actually to come recruiting, and just got a reenlistment bonus, and they're like, "Hey, you're going back." I was like, "What?" He goes, "When Joplin passed away, you got to go back. You got to replace him." I was like, "Oh my god, okay." And then I got all my stuff tax free, and so I was like, "Oh, that was a little cool." So we're gonna do a little toast to the Navy, live or not live, but we're gonna do it on air. So this is to you and our new partner, Manasu. I'm gonna do the Blanco here because I'm afraid to drink the other one on camera.
Cheers.
Salud, salud, Navy. Mm. Oh my god, that's so good.
As he makes a face.
I'm not a tequila drinker. I'm more of a whiskey drinker. Yeah, she's a tequila drinker. But I'm telling you, this goes down good. All righty. And so moving on to our um nonprofit spotlight, but it's really, a really great um film that's being made from a local uh veteran and called American Sons. And we brought the crew with them and his sister to talk about the film and talk about what they're trying to do with the film. All right, so we're here with the American Sons documentary crew, Miss April, Miss Andrew. So we're here today to talk about their
I'm Mr. Andrew. by
Mr.
the way.
Andrew, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Mr. Andrew. So we're here to talk about their documentary that will be premiering November 9th at the
The Carver Cultural
Carver
Community Center.
Community Center. Yes,
That's right.
So we're definitely going to be rooting, supporting that. That's why we want to bring you on today, talk about the film, get people excited about it, get people wanting to hear more about it, and hopefully get out there and see it. I don't know, is it open event? Is it?
Well, it will be open to the public, but there are limited seats.
Yes, yeah. So
stay tuned.
stay tuned on how to get those seats. So I want to talk a little bit about Miss April. I know Tori is friends with April, and I know you guys had a really good relationship. And we thought about bringing this all in, like, hey, I know you, you know me. So it was like, turned out pretty cool. So April, tell us a little bit about the film. I know it's about your brother, right?
Yep. So San Antonio is a very big city with a small town feel. And it's actually what the film brings. So my brother was very much a person who brought people together. So this just is an homage to who he was in every step of the way. So my brother was deployed. He
And his
left.
name?
My brother's name. So Corporal Jorge Villarreal Jr., everybody calls him JV. He graduated from John F. Kennedy High School in 2006
Nice.
and joined the Marine Corps later that year. So he just one day came to my mom and said, "Yep, I joined, and I leave in 2 weeks, so I'll see you then." And it was really a shock to my mom. He had always talked about it, and it was always like, "I'm gonna be Marine, I'm gonna be Marine." But you just, when you're a kid, you're like, whatever. Like, you need to go to college. You need to do this. You need to do that. But he, lived life on his own terms. So he joined after he did what they call a MEU. I'm sure everybody knows what a MEU is. It's a military show. So he did a MEU, and then he came back. He had no pictures, no nothing. And my mom was like, "What am I supposed to do? Like, I wanted to see where you were at and all these cool places." And he's like, "I'll remember." And so she was really on him the next time he knew he was going to be deployed. She's like, "Just take a camera." So he decided to buy a helmet cam and a video camera and a camera. So he went all out.
Oh, wow.
And he even says it in his stuff. And he's like, "I'm going to make a documentary." And he's like, "I'm going to film everything." So he went, full-fledged with it. So unfortunately, in Afghanistan, about a month before he was supposed to come home, he stepped on an IED and passed away and left behind all his footage. So he had shared it with some friends, and they shared it with us. So we had all this footage and didn't really know what to do with it. And I sat on it for, about a year after I processing, his death. And I really didn't know what to do and, how to share this with everybody. Because when I started watching it, I was intrigued because I saw pieces of war that I had never known, right? I've never been deployed. That's something that I had seen from the news, but nothing I had really ever been engrossed in. And so watching these snippets of it, I really felt like I was there. I was part of it. And so I did some research, really thinking about who my brother was as a person, which was, again, very homegrown San Antonio, very proud of his heritage.
And that's what I was gonna step into before we get into his military stuff. And when you tell us a little bit about how he was. I know it was Kennedy, so I went to Lanier, so right down the street.
Yeah.
You know, my son went to Brentwood. He was trying to get me to go. He was trying to go to Kennedy. And I was like, no, no, sir. You're a legacy. You got to go to Lanier. So I convinced him to get away from Kennedy. But you know, because and we're not too far along. He's 2006. I graduated 2000. So tell me a little bit about him, just in
Him as a
growing up
person,
and that kind of, and especially that neighborhood. That's my neighborhood too, sort of, kind of, but pretty close. We all went to Las Palmas HEB, so
Yeah.
I had Lubies on Las Palmas. So you know, tell me a little bit about him, about your family, like all that together.
Yeah. So definitely, I don't want to say typical West Side kids because that's a, like negative connotation.
And
But
it is true.
yeah, he was. And I've said this before. Nobody ever laughs, but they're like, everybody's like, he was a great man. I was like, he was a pain in my ass. He really was just necio, like running around, you know, playing video games
Like a little brother.
Yeah, like, but he loved people. He loved friends, and he loved like bringing everybody together. And that's all he ever wanted, was to hang out with everybody. It was just him and I. And I was no fun. I was the boring, mean older sister. So he wanted like all his friends around him. And in Kennedy, he you know, got into his own things with football and
So he played sports.
And what
Yeah.
was the age difference? Were you all in school at the same time?
no, we're 4.5 years apart.
Oh, okay.
So just missed each other
Yeah.
in high school. And what really was one of those that would, if he said he was going to do something, he was going to do it. However he did it. And so where I was very like straight laced, very like into school, he was just like, whatever, like, however, he's like, I will graduate, I promise, one way or another. And
It's
he
very
did.
eldest sister, younger brother dynamic there. I'm hearing a lot of parallels between my and me and my little brother.
Yeah, so I was always on top of him, but he was like just a free spirit. I don't know how else to describe it. And it used to bother me so much. Like I was like, how do you just not care? Like how do you? Are you
I think it's just
so,
a West Side boy kid
Yeah.
thing, man. Because I'm gonna say I was the same way when I joined. I didn't tell nobody. I just said, "Mom, I'm leaving in a month."
I just like to think he maybe somehow felt like he didn't have as much time as some of us do, and didn't have time to be angry, didn't have time to be, you know, fussing with anything. So he was just always in a great mood.
That's awesome.
You know, always down for the party, down for his friends, and you know all of that. But he was very, very proud to be from Texas. The first thing he did was go get a Texas tattoo on his chest, which I made fun of him for, because I was like, that was the worst shaped Texas I've ever seen.
You're like, was that a prison tattoo? What's going on over there?
Yeah, what are y'all doing?
Were you on a bench press or something? Getting a tattoo done?
You know, very proud of being Mexican American. Like, he didn't really speak a lot of Spanish because, you know, Spanglish kid over here.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was like, you know, Texas, I'm Mexican. And that's all he would talk about. Like, that's how he like, merged with people, even in the military. But yeah, he was great. But he was a great pain in my ass, too.
As we all are.
Yeah.
So the West Side kids, I mean, we're definitely a pain in the butt. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I wanted you to talk a little bit about that, because I know, you know, for San Antonio, like those areas of town, you know, Kennedy area, Joe McMullen, Port San Antonio, all
Yeah.
that area right there. You know, it's very, very historic. When people coming out of there do great things, join the military, do great things. It's always great to tie those things together,
Yeah.
right? Because he's, you know, anybody that comes out of those communities and serves and pays the ultimate sacrifice is definitely should be honored and loved and cared for, because those areas, we're not expected to do much,
No, for sure.
and we're not expected to contribute to the community much, and especially back in those times, in the 90s and the early 2000s when we were there, you know, you couldn't walk too far. You couldn't
Yeah.
walk from Kennedy to Lanier when wearing a green and a blue.
It's
You
true.
couldn't do that.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that back in those days. So it's very tough. So it's really, really, I definitely wanted to get that, because those areas, we need to hear stories of vets or just people doing great things and contributing to the community, you know, from those areas. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank
I
you.
mean, he
for
was
that.
so proud of that. Like, he's buried right across from Kennedy. There's a cemetery nearby. So you, from his area that he's buried in, you can see the high school.
Yeah, what's that? San Fernando number 2, right?
Number 3.
Number 3, yeah.
So he's still a West Side kid.
Yeah, he's still never going to leave. He's
Yeah,
like, I'm
never
going to go
leaving.
hoop in Kennedy Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. And definitely comes from a long legacy of veterans. from that
Really?
community. You
Yeah.
know, it's because the shout out to the Edgewood District veterans who lost the most students in the Vietnam War of any other
Wow.
district in the entire country.
Yeah.
So there's a long legacy of service coming
Yeah.
from the West Side San Antonio.
And that's what's so, like, when we talk about this, I wanted you to tell a story because I know you had to have a, when you said Kennedy, I was like, hold on, okay, all right, I need to know more about this because, we don't get enough shine. I mean, we have, like you said, the Edgewood veteran community. The SISD, there's a lot of veterans that I know that I served with that joined the same time I did. There are a lot of great things, and we definitely want to highlight this. So I'm really, really proud that you guys are doing this for him and sharing his legacy because it shows that, especially in the Vietnam era, I mean, a lot of vets, from the West Side, South Side, all these, predominantly poor Hispanic neighborhoods, all got drafted.
Absolutely.
And, they went out there and showed what West Side pride or South Side pride or San Antonio pride is. And so I'm glad we're able to highlight that
Definitely.
as part of his background.
But we definitely have to give, respect to JV for capturing his experience. Because
Yeah.
without that, there would be none. We
Exactly.
wouldn't be here today.
Yeah, another check in the box. there.
Exactly. So it wasn't so much that he recorded footage, but he recorded footage that was so compelling.
And then
know,
we got
he put
Mom
himself
Famous
out
to your
there.
mom too.
Exactly. He
What
put
year
himself
was
out
that?
there. 2010.
He passed away 2010.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Because like now when you're talking about that, I'm like, oh, it's pretty much like with your iPhone. But at that time, we didn't have GoPros and
That's right.
like a wireless mic.
Yeah.
And I have no pictures from any deployments.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In my 16 years, I have few and far between
Sure.
pictures. So just the fact that he thought of that, like you said, to
Exactly.
take all that the equipment and record it,
Yeah.
and that's awesome too of your mom to be like, hey, record this.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
she definitely pushed him. But, again, like just the way things work out, he had the forethought of being like, I should probably share this with people.
Yeah.
Because he had his camera with him when he got blown up. We would have lost that footage completely as far as what he was recording. So, and then when we got his electronics back, of course, there was nothing on it. So we really wouldn't have known anything.
Right.
So it's just, it was meant to be shown to everybody somehow.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's really intentional. Like you said, you might have a camera, you just don't think about using it sometimes. And
Yeah.
So he was very intentional in his decisions to speak to the camera in a very journalistic way to
Yeah.
say, this is what's going on with me right now in this moment. And some of the moments are pretty harrowing. Some of the moments when you see the film, you'll understand. I think you just watched the film actually.
I mean, it was. I had to take a few minutes because it is pretty takes you back. I mean, especially if you've been in those situations and certain situations, it does take you back. So I mean, it's a really pull you in kind of. Oh my God, I don't even want to. It's like. So I'm excited for people to watch it because I know I was kind of got me sweating palms and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's very, very pulls you in kind of action and just the way he talks
Yeah.
and it's just like
The way he's talking to the camera, like
yeah, that's
very
exactly
much early YouTube.
I was gonna
vlogger
say,
style.
I think he's like, get ready with me, putting on his
Yeah,
boot.
He was definitely a content creator before it was a thing.
Right, yeah.
Because he is like talking to the camera. I'm like on the side of a mountain while there's war going on around him. I'm like, I wouldn't
Exactly.
be thinking
He's
of that.
like, hey guys, look what's behind me.
Yes. I don't know if you've seen it, but that's
I
exactly
haven't
that's
seen it
exactly
yet.
what he's doing.
Oh, that's
He's
too
like,
funny.
I might get shot from over there. I might get
Yeah,
shot from over
exactly.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very he's a character. And
There's
you
there's
feel like,
narration,
man.
there's charisma, and,
I
and
love
that's what
it.
really brings the whole story to
Yeah,
life.
that's
So without
awesome.
him, we say he's the first filmmaker. He makes reference to that. April talked about it a little bit. He had the intention to create this, and we're just finishing it.
Yeah.
We're just continuing the journey, and we hope that it can help veterans throughout the community, throughout the country, and
That's awesome.
to bring healing.
Yeah, and so now we got the man, got the story. So what led into how did you guys meet to create the whole documentary to get it to where? Because I know you guys been touring since a few years now, right?
Well, we started
With
in
the film?
February. We started in March, and I'll let April finish out, how she got the footage, and then how I ended up getting involved, and then we can talk a little bit more about what happened since then.
Yeah, so after I saw the footage, I needed to find somebody who was very similar to his thought, the way he thought. And doing some research, I found Laura Varela, who's here out of San Antonio. and had just done a veteran film. Very much like Chicana, Tejana style. Again, Brother Love being from San Antonio, from being the West Side, from being being Hispanic, and so she very much embodied that also. So I basically took it and I was like, here's a little baby. I don't know what to do with it. And she sat on it. She looked at it and she told me for years. And she's like, I don't know what we're gonna do. She's like, but we're gonna do something. And every year she would check in with me. So we did that for, I don't know, was it 7 years before?
Yeah, probably 7 years.
Because she kept telling me, I want to do this right. And after a while, you start thinking like, oh, I guess nothing's going to happen, right? And, we would connect every year. And then one day she was like, I really want you to meet Andrew. And she's like, I really think this is the right fit for this next piece of the project. And so we met Andrew, we talked, and it just all clicked and it worked. And, it felt good to like move to that next step. We didn't know what that would be or what it looked like. Andrew kind of gave me a very broad thought process. And I was like, okay, like I don't know what this looks like. And then I also didn't know how expensive it was to make a documentary. I thought you just,
Put things
put
together.
it all together.
Yeah.
Like, put it out there.
You can't use CapCut.
Yeah.
Cut and
I
paste.
could do that now on Instagram. So, I mean, there's, I don't know how many hours of footage that you had to.
There's a lot. There's probably 150 hours that I shot personally, and then
Oh, wow.
there's the footage that he had as well, and then a bunch of other stuff that was there. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah, so that was, I guess, 2011 when you brought that footage to Laura.
To Laura, yeah.
Yeah,
and
so
then
that
we
was
went in 2018.
2011, and then I'd known Laura since 2014, and we'd just been doing short things like short docs, and we both connected in the doc world. That's kind of, we're just that's where we see eye to eye. Was in that realism space, mostly in a humanitarian, social kind of space, and we did a variety of things. Worked with some nonprofits, and I was doing my thing. I have my own company, and for years she had said, feature film. I want to do a feature film, and I had no interest in that, mostly because now that I've done one, I also don't recommend anybody else does one either. But it's a very challenging process. This is the 8th year, and we're still working on the film. Like we have another deliverable that we have to send over to PBS. That's like due like yesterday. But it's an 8-year process, and so I wasn't ready. I just didn't have the confidence, and then I did a couple things that were pretty challenging for my career experience, and when I got done, I had it in my head that I wasn't going to be legitimate as a director unless I did a feature. So that's when I said, okay, let me do it, let me go for it. And so I met with Laura, and we would hang out, and I said, okay, I think I'm ready. Show me what you got. And we kind of looked at some other things, and we looked at 2 other projects, and I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why she didn't show this one first, because once I saw this one, it was just mind-blowing. Seeing the footage, it's not just the footage. There's also a combat photographer who was with the unit at the time, who was also in the film. And he shot photos of the unit before, during, and after JB's death. So he captured his last moments alive. And they're not just like, these are like, they're photos on the level of the famous Iwo Jima photo where they put the flag, and they're on that level. So when I saw those photos, I was just blown away. I said, wow,
it was
just
only
the
second
serendipity.
time in the Afghan-Iraq war that they had captured someone's not actual death, but right before and after.
Right, exactly. So there's footage of him alive, and then there's footage of him on the ground being covered, and then being airlifted out. Right. So very, very compelling. And once I saw that, I said, okay, let's do this. And so then we met with April probably a week later. I think we signed a piece of notebook paper, saying, and made an agreement. We cheersed a beer at Botica at the Pearl. And I think 2 weeks later, we were in Los Angeles rolling.
Wow.
And the first time we recorded for this project is probably the crux of the film, is the most compelling scene in the entire film, and it's the first time we rolled footage.
Wow.
And so everything is just kind of serendipitous, and it's just kind of been one moment led to another, and it's all a part of just going, just choosing to go the distance, and things were just fall into place after that. Not that it hasn't been incredibly challenging.
Yeah.
There's been roadblocks the whole way, but looking back and connecting all the pieces, we had a very successful project. We raised all the money for the film. I mean, it took 6 years to do that, but right at the very end, I'm sure everybody knows what's going on with PBS and different funding for that type of programming, but we're the very last class of independent filmmakers that possibly will ever go through PBS.
Oh, wow.
In terms of funding, in terms of production. So support public media, and without public media, this film would not have been able to get done. And we got a very sizable grant from Black Public Media out of Brooklyn. Shout out to them, because that just put us over the edge, and that helped us get the complete funding to finish the film. But shout out to Black Public Media, California Humanities, City of San Antonio, Bexar County, and Latino Public Broadcasting, all who took part in funding this film.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome that you got that kind of support from the community here. You would think that, it's good to hear that. It's good to hear that they support and those kind of opportunities to get this kind of stories out. Because sometimes you think they just kind of forget, and they have other things that they're funding and stuff like that, and you forget that they do other things too.
Well, that's also true, but you got to shake the tree. I mean, you have to be undeniable, right? So the story is undeniable, the footage is undeniable, the work ethic on our end is undeniable, and that's not even enough most of the time.
Yeah.
You just have to stay front and center, present, and you have to keep being a squeaky wheel. And another one of those serendipitous moments is, shout out to Rebecca Clay Flores, County Commissioner, who really was a champion for this project and helped us get some additional funding. That is actually what is keeping us going to do this national tour that we're on right now. And one of her staffers is one of JV's high school friends. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, it's one of those other moments where, JV he's still there to continue to aid us on this journey.
That's awesome. And talk a little bit about that national tour. I mean, where have you guys been at? What kind of feedback are you getting from the tour? I mean, I know we have mutual friends that say, hey, I've been here, I've been there, watching the film. I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, what's going on with that?
Okay, well, our ultimate goal here is to change, public policy, right? For transition services for veterans who are, getting out of combat or transitioning to the civilian world, and y'all being veterans, the challenges that come with that, and that's really what our film speaks about. It speaks about that reconnection between veterans who have parted ways. When you develop these relationships and then you go into the civilian world and you just don't have that same kind of relationships. You don't have that same battle buddy that you can turn to in your times of challenge and need. And so that's our ultimate goal. And so we have a series of partnerships that we're developing that will end up taking us there, where we can then change public policy. But that's not quite for us to do. We made this film and we have this message that we're getting out there. So we're in an awareness phase right now, and that started back in March when we did our world premiere at South by Southwest, which we're incredibly grateful for, because it's like the #1 film festival in the world. So we're really grateful that was an opportunity to just kind of set off everything. So since then we screened in Hollywood, the infamous Mann's Chinese Theater, which I think has a different name now.
Yeah.
But they put us up across the street at the Hollywood Roosevelt, which is a rock star experience.
Yeah,
we love that.
Yeah,
spent a lot of time at the pool. But we just got back from the El Paso Film Festival. We did the Houston Latino Film Festival. We just did our Academy. Am I allowed to say that? We did our awards qualifying theatrical run in Fort Worth. I think that's how I'm supposed to say it. Yeah, we did our awards qualifying theatrical run in Fort Worth, which was, in August. The Fort Worth Film Commission was extremely gracious, and they helped us to do 7 days in a movie theater. We had 3 screenings a day, and that gives us a qualification to move forward on the awards that are happening this year. So now, from there, we are going to Los Angeles at the end of next week, and we have 4 screenings there. 2 private screenings with different awards voters. And we have a screening at the Bob Hope Patriotic Hall, which is a beautiful place in downtown Los Angeles. We have another screening at PBS SoCal. So we're also been doing PBS stuff at local PBS facilities. And then we go to Berkeley from there, and we have a screening in Berkeley, and we have another screening in San Francisco.
Okay, so you're all over the West Coast.
And then we have, it's just the beginning. And then we're doing the hometown premiere on November 9th at the Carver Community Center. Go to the website, americansonsfilm.com, and in the news section, there's going to be some information about that. And get on the newsletter. You can sign up there at the website, and that's the only place you're going to be able to find out how to get tickets, because the tickets will be limited.
Yes, so please do that. And How did the American Son's name come up?
I mean,
Is there a cool story? I know there's always some cool stories.
not
It was the
particularly.
first thing you said.
Yeah, that's just like, you know, you just get these. Well, I do. I just get these random ideas, and they just kind of, JB. You know, it's like we're all connected, and you know, for me, and that's where we have alignment. Like Laura and I, especially, is like trying to have these words that can speak in a small amount of words. Like one word is even better. But American Sons, it's really about, the story is about a mother and her son. You know, it's about a family. It's a love story about a family.
Yeah.
And so when that son is gone, like, you have all of these brothers that he made in the Marine Corps that have come in and, you know, created that extended love, that extended family. So now they're, you know, the new sons to this family. And it just kind of seemed obvious, you know, to just, I don't know, it just kind of struck like lightning in the bottle. You know? It just kind of hit.
I mean, it hits. It hits.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, when they first announced it to me, I was like, oh, American Sons, that's awesome.
Exactly.
Like, that sounds like something you just want to watch regardless of knowing it or not knowing it.
Yeah, so there's an American Son scary movie that came out like some years ago. So if you look it up, there's like a rated R scary movie, but it's not that one.
Right.
It's American Son's film.
Exactly. And this is like one of those things where, you know, at the beginning, what it meant was like, who are the people that actually serve in the military? You know, like, what is America actually, in these times that we live in, where there's, you know, a lot of talk is like, what is it? Who's really an American type of conversation? And so what we wanted to show is like, okay, who serves on the front line? Those are the real Americans, right? And what do they look like? If you watch our film, you see that there's a very diverse, you know, crew of individuals that are represented there, mostly Latino. And we wanted to be able to show like, this is what America really looks like, you know, and that's kind of what's the core of where the name comes from. But it has multiple sides, right? It has multiple angles, and mostly the mother and the son relationship, and these new sons, these new American sons that kind of fill that void. And it's a beautiful relationship. You know, you can see that these men really care for April and her mother, Yolanda, and they have a close relationship, and they're there to the end. And it's
awesome.
a beautiful thing to witness.
Yeah, that's awesome to have that, you know, with that. Even with my friend, so our nonprofit Combat 22, you know, we provide mental health services for vets, and you know, I talked to his sister and his dad here to there just to check up on them, get the permission, and make sure I say if I use his name or something like that, make sure they're okay with that and that kind of stuff. But you know, that community you're gonna build, you're gonna have that you're gonna have brothers for the rest of your life, you know, with all the people he had relationships with and things like that. So that's also something, like even me and Tori, I mean, we've been friends forever. Actually, my friend that recruited her, and she used to hang out with us, and we used to just all hang out. And now she's in the military doing, you know,
About to get
sort of
kicked
20
out
years,
for fraternization.
getting 20 years.
Wow.
You know, she's about to make her 20 years, and you know, I'm proud of her for that. So
Congratulations.
Yes, yeah. So she's working on that. So, but you know, that's just the history, and then the diversity. You know, it's just painting that picture, because I mean, if they would have had more actual films, which I think they do have documentaries like the Vietnam and things like that, but to see those faces of the people that are actually storming the beaches, fighting those battles on the hills, and doing those things, you see all the different faces.
Well, that's something you'll see, like you see in this, like again, Jay was from Kennedy. You can hear his West Side accent. You can hear the it's very predominant in him, and he had. There's no apologies given for that. You know, he drops F-bomb all the time, and you know, again, very proud of who he was. And we don't see that. We don't see people. Like, we normally see films and people are like well spoken. We don't see a lot of brown people giving their story, and this very much highlights, you know, Latinos. We've got Thai, who's from Thailand, in the film.
Honorary Latino.
Yeah, he was embraced by the Latino community, but very much showing like the brown voice of the front line, because there's a piece of the film where JV says, and I know I've said a couple of cuss words, but he says like, this guy went to college and he's in the same shithole with me. Like it doesn't matter. Like we were all there, and you know, he shares that part. And I think when you watch the film, like you're just so engrossed by like the honesty that they are all giving, including the guys who did survive and also got hurt. Like where they were stationed was one of the most dangerous pieces of where they were at in Hemlin province and what they were doing. So they lost several people. So in that deployment, they lost 4. And since then,
wow.
you talked about your nonprofit, we've lost 11. Some, for
To
different
veteran
reasons.
suicide.
Suicide, overdose, things
Yeah.
like that. But, where the film leads you is you need your brothers. You need people to lean on. And normal civilians like Andrew and I can't really relate. Even him and I being engrossed in this, we don't know. We don't know what you've experienced. We don't know what you've seen, what you've heard, and people you've lost. And so when you don't have that when you're, when you leave the military and you lose this brotherhood, this sisterhood, who do you turn to? So many of these guys like turn inwards and they lose themselves in that because they don't know who to talk to, and they forget that they do have this band of family outside of that. One of the things I say is I used to, when my brother first passed, I would get upset that they would call him his brother, and I'm like, that wasn't your brother, that's my brother. I was very much like the overprotective sister. And then I started to hear the stories, and I started to really understand, and I was like, oh, like he was your brother in a totally different way.
Yeah.
In a way that I never valued. And it leads back to those that survive saying more than thank you for your service. This film gives you a face to those people who are still here. My brother passed away, and it's very sad. It's very heartbreaking for my family and those that knew him. But so many more people come back. And what do you come back with? Like, what are those wounds like? What does that feel like that you guys have to walk around, in society and carry this, and none of us realize it, and what can you do other than provide support? But the support now is, hey, like, watch this film. There's, an example of brothers that stuck together. They come back together every few years, reach out to one another. And I really, before we started making the film, I was like, I don't want to talk about PTSD. I don't want it to be a statistical thing, but you can't have one without the other.
Right.
And Andrew does a beautiful job, or the entire team does a beautiful job of melding those two things, of telling JV's story and also talking about the ugly side of it, the things that, people live with every day that nobody talks about, being over-medicated, under-medicated, having nobody to talk to, being hurt internally versus externally, and you see those things in the film. And I wish we had 3-4 hours to be able to tell it all, but you've got to tell it in, so many minutes. And I hope it leads to more conversation about each of those pockets that we know it, like as civilians, we hear PTSD, we hear, 22 veterans a day, but we don't know what that is. And I hope that this film really opens people's eyes to a face. Actually, if you don't know somebody, now you do. Now you know somebody who gave their life, and now you know people who are living with what that felt like.
Yeah, and that's a very strong message. I mean, that's exactly why Veteran SA exists, because we wanted to put the faces of the community of the veteran. When somebody says, thank a vet, well, there's a lot of people that don't even know a vet or don't even know. They're the people that work at Home Depot, the people who work at HEB, the people who work at the bank, the USA, at your ad, and all these people you're passing, those are veterans. Those are just, you would never know. Those are veterans that they're gone through, all kinds of things in the military, and they're walking around with this Band-Aid on them, mental Band-Aid on them, right? Trying to just survive and get to the next day, like things we talked about, and trying to get better. So in our own little world, and like, we got it. We can take care of it. We put a Band-Aid on it and move on to the next thing. So definitely love that. I love that take on it, because it definitely aligns with what we're trying to do with our organization, and trying to get the faces to the veterans, to the community. So the fact that you painted that picture is like, oh, that's awesome, because it just aligns perfectly with what we're doing. So again, thank you so much. You got anything else you want to run with? Again, thank you very much for coming on. Really love you guys, what you're doing, and we want to definitely, again, November 9th.
November 9th. And we look forward to hosting y'all there at the event.
Yes.
Veteran SA will be there with us.
Yes, yeah. Miss Tori will be there doing a live broadcast, and then our Quincy Harper, our other talk show or segment podcast host. He will be all there also. So Tori will be pre-show, and then Quincy will be post-show. We want to get reactions of the fans, and so if you do go, look for our little spot. Come and talk about the film, and then we'll pick up on you guys and what to expect from the film and kind of build this.
Yeah, follow the website, AmericanSonsFilm.com, all the socials, get on the newsletter.
Yeah, socials, American Sons Film.
Yeah. So even if you go to San Antonio premiere, we're going to be all over the place. So
That's right.
I'll tell your friends, tell your dad,
Yes,
tell your family,
tell your whole
everybody.
family.
Yeah. So
Hey, all of Kennedy, y'all need to stand up, get out, leave Kennedy Park, come over and watch the film.
Yep.
Support your brother. From what's the zip code there?
78 there. I'm from 78237. I think they're 227. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so once again, November 9th is at the Carver Cultural Community Center. It'll be doors open at 1:30 p.m. and the showing will be from 2 to 6. We're going to have a reception and we're going to have the screening. AmericanSonsFilm.com. There is a place where you can sign up for the newsletter. So sign up for the newsletter. That's how you'll get all the information on how to get tickets for the event. AmericanSonsFilm@gmail. You can contact us if you're interested, and we can, start the conversation, see if we can get you in. But just stay connected. Everything American Sons Film. So social, website, and the Gmail. That's how you can get a hold of us.
And if you're a company out there that wants to sponsor and
It's
be part of
expensive to make
their
documentary.
That's right. Yeah.
And to
help
tour.
support this
gonna
and
say, it's like-
support their goals of being able to spread this awareness, please reach out to them directly. You can reach out to us, info@veteransa.com. We'll relay the message back to them. So please, the sponsors, get out there and help us promote this film. All right? Well, thank you very much for coming. We really appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
absolutely.
Listen, brother,
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Let me say, bro, thank you.
Yes, thank you
Thanks,
so
guys.
much.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye,
I'll
thank
give you a
you.
hug
Okay,
over
take
there.
care.
And also now we have, we're going to bring in a special guest as well, the Mar Azul, our partner here, to talk about, their business, their company, how they came up with the design of everything, and, just how they got started. And this veteran and spouse couple, power couple. So that's what I'm talking about. And I really want you to meet Bobby and Susie, especially Miss Susie. She's amazing, powerhouse woman. So definitely let's talk about that. Hey, so we have the owners of Mar Azul Tequila here with us today. We have Mr. Bobby and Miss Susie. How you guys doing?
Very good, and you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm glad you guys were able to make it today, and just want to spend a little time on getting to know your tequila, your brand, your military brand that you put together, and just a little backstory on how you got started and all that stuff. And we'll first start with you, Bobby. I mean, tequila. I know it's veteran owned, veteran spouse as well, ran and operated, owned as well. So, Bobby, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a retired Air Force. I did almost 21 years in. While I was still active duty, she started doing the tequila. And we were together, married about 3 years before she decided to tell me, oh, guess what? My family does tequila in Mexico. I'm like, what? We've been together like 4 years. You never mentioned this. And she took me down there, let me meet her family at the factory, and really opened me up to really good tequilas. Because at the time, I wasn't a big drinker, but I like bourbon, whiskey, and I had some tequila. Me and Jose didn't get along.
Yeah.
So she introduced me and opened, actually a lot of people that we know, she opened the doors up to them to showing them what a really good tequila is now. And back then, you didn't have as many tequilas today and as many good ones.
Yeah.
So now the market's flooded with really good tequilas, but not that I'm biased, but hers is one of the best I've had.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
she's
awesome.
very, very proud of what she does, and she's worked really hard to get it to where it is.
That's awesome. So I know you say you're Air Force veterans. What was your job in the Air Force?
I did half my career. I was med tech. I was enlisted, retired as a master sergeant, but I was med tech, so I did ERs and ICUs for about 10 years.
Okay.
And then I cross-trained over. Had some friends that were OSI agents. They were
Nice.
federal agents in the
Yeah.
Air Force, and I had a couple of them that kept pitching me. I kept running into them, seeing them at the ER in the hospital here at Wilford Hall when I worked in the intensive care unit there.
Yeah.
And I came home and told my wife one day, hey, this guy Ken Barr, my buddy, he keeps coming up to me, met him in Portugal, keeps saying, why don't you come to the dark side? Why don't you come to the dark side? So I came home and pitched her. She said, well, if that's something you really want to do, go for it. And I applied and never looked back, and I just loved doing it. It was a very rewarding job, but the hardest job I think I've ever done.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome.
Besides working for my new boss.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, speaking of your new boss, I mean, how did you guys meet? I mean, I know you said you had an interesting story. You were in Korea or something like that? Or?
Actually, when we met, it was dancing here in
Oh,
San
that's
Antonio.
right. Yeah, that's right. I remember the
But then I
story,
went to
yes.
Korea
Yeah.
not too long, a few years after that. But she was a bit of a workaholic. I was a single father at the time. We ended up getting married. She had a boy, girl. I had a boy, girl. So it became our own little Brady bunch.
Yeah,
Had
yeah.
kids in the house.
And they met at the atrium, folks.
Yeah,
Of
the-
all places,
Yeah.
the atrium, old school. I think there's a lot of couples that met at the atrium. It was so big there.
It was huge. Yeah, I think we shut that place down, the two of us.
Yeah. They're like, all right, that's it. No more love finding over here.
Forget couples like that together. We're done.
So you guys got married there for a little bit after that, and
Yeah, I got married. I was still working at Lackland for a few years. Went into OSI. Went over to Fletsy at Glencoe, Georgia, and then from there ended up in San Angelo. Was leaving her all the time. She was, always coming back here to San Antonio to keep the company she'd opened here going. So it was really rough on her from probably 2004 until I retired in 2013. It was a really rough life for her because once we left San Antonio, she was always having to come back to here. And because I went from San Angelo to Korea, then I went from Korea to Colorado and retired in Colorado Springs, coming here.
Yeah, and that's another great turn too that we talked about in the past before about military spouses. I mean, for us to do our job, for us to focus only on the mission and not have to worry about home, being that home front is being taken care of, and just having somebody strong that can support you and your mission and your deployment and support the home. So yeah, I mean that's something that really intrigued me about getting to know you guys. Like not only hey, you did a lot, you did your time, you did really great things in your service, and then you're part of this tequila brand. But then once I learned about Susie, I'm like,
Yeah.
forget you, Bobby. No,
she-
it just like you said, like she's the boss. I mean, she's making it run, and then all the different stories you told me about, having the Azul, the Guadalajara farm and all that stuff, the rancho over there, and doing that. And so, without further introduction, Miss Susie. So, Miss Susie, how did this all come about?
Well, all this started with a dream. I want to drink alcohol. Something I can get easy, smooth. I don't have to work. I don't have to worry about getting lost, So I started looking for a something with flavor at the beginning. Tequila is done forever.
Yeah.
Blanco, reposado, and añejo. So I thought we need something. It's for woman or for people who wants to do something. Just open a bottle, drink it. Don't do anything, but I dream on something. How it smells is how it tastes. I think it's your nose is number one.
Yep.
And then after you drink it. But later on, I learned that it's also the view of the product. It's not just whatever bottle. So I get into more details on that and the product. So that's how I start creating something. My family support me. My uncle, who was a chemist, he passed away in 2019, but he left me all the good stuff.
Yeah.
How to make a good tequila. And of
Awesome.
course, the whole family behind me. It's my mom, my brothers, and everybody support me with Bobby. Means while he was deployment, my mom come and visit me to help with the children, or I send them to Mexico. That was nice. They learn Spanish.
Yeah.
So no, it's a long trip, but I can say it was very nice. I always support Bobby. I think when you marry with a military person, you have to understand it's not just you and about you. It's about him, his career, and when you love the person, you support them.
Yeah.
But also you need to have a big support behind you. And I think that was my family.
Yeah.
Especially every time I need support from them when he was deploying, everybody helped me with that.
Yeah.
Because it's hard in USA to have children. It's not easy to just drop them in some place and they take care of them and you don't know what's going to happen and you never have the time because I was a business owner. So it's not like from 8 to 9,
Yeah.
and you cut everything and that's it. You go home. My type of business is never ending.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit tough, but I think when love and is a support from each other, that's when you can create a lot of good things.
Yeah.
And now I have his support, so
Yeah.
I-
Now
I drag
he's
him.
tied to your hip.
Yes.
No, you're going with me, sir.
Sometimes it's a pain because Mexico sometimes is not comfortable, the roads and everything, and with the injuries he has, I understand it's hard to ride in the car and rolling around and just shaking your head, and the poor guy is with a hinge on his neck. So
Yeah.
I know at the end of the day he's all like, oh my god.
Oh, beat up.
It's worth it, though. It's worth it.
But it's a big rewards from everybody.
Yeah.
From everything you're going through. And the military also teach me a lot of things that I didn't know. Mexico is totally different than USA. So the good things
You're
here-
originally from
Mexico City.
From Mexico City. Okay,
Yes.
that's right. Yeah.
So I learn a lot from how they train, how they do things. And personally, my mom trained me for life. So she was saying you have to do the best. No
Yeah.
matter what you want to do, you need to be the best. And coming from that type of family, very strong, very strong attitude about positive, being positive. No matter what, you always have to do best.
Yes.
No
yeah.
matter what happened, you have to become good. No matter if you fell, get up and keep going. So and with the instruction, or how I should say, I learned a lot from the military. Even
Yes.
I'm the spouse of Bobby, and I'm not inside the system.
Yeah, you weren't in service. You were.
Yeah, pretty much. I do the service with him because you do everything with them.
She used to
Yeah.
run with us on everything.
And I was gonna say, do you think you were able to find good resources, like especially while he was gone, to help you like on base or his command? Because typically we have like ombudsman's command. That's the kind of the spouses.
Really, I don't depend on anybody.
Okay.
They offered at the beginning, but I'm from another country. My
Yeah.
English was good, but I'm not good enough because USA have a different way to see things. You know, like the movies or generation is in like I was listening I was in this high school. I have nothing like that. So I don't relate to anybody. But it was hard, the communication on that part. But no, after 15 days, I was waiting for somebody to help me. I
No.
didn't find that.
Oh man.
So I said, okay, well, I'm on my own. So
Yeah.
I did it myself. But in San Angelo, I find a little bit of support.
Okay.
Sometimes with the schools and things with the children. But no, I really didn't look for support from anybody around. I
Well,
think
and like in the base,
I
yeah.
learned to be on my own and depend on me. So
Okay.
now I think it's certain people those support, and I like that.
Yeah.
I think it's the support when you need the most support is now. Maybe it's when you retire because they don't adapt well.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to get like, now what am I gonna do? I'm stuck home. And what am I gonna do with this woman? 100% of my time.
Yeah, definitely. Getting to know each other again, getting to do that. But you guys went a whole other. We're just gonna go all in and go business partners.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, how's that been together, doing that? How's that been going for you guys?
It is good. Sometimes we are stubborn, both of us. So he's on his own, and I say this, and he said no. I think you're wrong, but I think it's not right and wrong. I think it's a different opinions, different mentality, and different view of life. So,
Yeah.
But at the end, it's the same goal. So he going his way, I'm going my way. But it's always becoming the same result.
Yeah, so that's awesome because that's entrepreneurship from a veteran standpoint has been the highest success we've seen. Where veterans are easier to transition to, where they've had really high success on transitioning. So it's really great to have that. But then you have an extra added leg is it's your spouse who's also was a spouse in the military. So that, understanding that part of it and understanding him, supporting him that, and as giving her that same respect back, saying that, and that's ultimately what I wanted to highlight because I thought you guys were awesome the way, even interacting with me, I see where you kind of like a little bit bump heads and he's like, oh, okay, whatever you say. then you're like, okay, whatever you say. So I really like that you guys have that back and forth with each other where you can disagree and just like, you know what, you're right this time. You know what, you're right this time. And then you carry about the business. So that's really awesome that you guys can have that and share that. That's really
we
awesome.
can't let the business interfere with how much we care about each other. So it is like she says sometimes, because I joke around and I tell her, you're from Mexico, we can't take those little corners you cut down there. You gotta, up here, we would joke around like that. But she just, her mind goes 90 miles an hour. A lot of my friends, they like to pick her brain for business stuff. They're like, your wife's like a genius with business. I love to talk to her about this and that. But it's hard to get her to slow down. And for me, it took a long time to get me to feel like I slowed down after I retired. But she supported me for a long time. And it's like when we talked before, now I'm here to support her. I try to do what I can to help. Like even today, she comes in, hey, read this. I need you to write this for me. Do this. Take that. So, whatever she needs, I just, do what she needs. And we press forward and try to get to the next thing.
Yeah. So about the tequila, so we have the Bohica here, but we also, which we don't have on here, is your other flavors. So you have flavored tequila, you got reposado, you got all kinds of, yes. So, and so tell me a little bit about that and how you got that started. Because I wish we would have had all the other ones. And I thought about it now. I was like, man, we should have put all the other ones in here. But how many flavors you got all together?
Well, I originally create 36 flavors.
Okay.
So 36 is a lot, and everybody was saying, "Are you nuts?" But, and yes, I like to create things. I just passionate about what I'm doing. It has to be perfect. So I go and start creating things, and what I want is people. For me, the most beautiful thing is when somebody drink the tequila and they said, oh my God, I didn't expect this. It's so delicious.
The chocolate.
Because, but people said at the beginning, my family, nobody really believed on what I was doing because nobody did it before. They did flavors, very natural, regular almond, coffee, the more common flavors.
Yeah.
But when I said banana, chocolate, they said, wow, you're nuts. Nobody's going to buy that, or coconut. And I say, yes, they will. It's very good taste. It's different. I think it's what I like is you can play with different flavors, and it's mine for everybody. So I thought, nobody has this. So we need to get something really going.
Yeah.
And when I start making it, and everybody in Korea, I brought a lot of bottles.
You should see my coworkers.
Everybody was happy tasting those old flavors. But at the end, you have to bring just a few because our budget was very, very tight. I have to say everything I have done is been on my own. I don't have a partners. People approach us, but honestly, it's everything on budget, all the production. So right now we just have 13 products from the 36, which is Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo, and the flavors was creating for the main reason to get something clean, natural, and no chemicals, so you can drink, get drunk, and be happy because you're drunk, but you're happier.
I second that. Let me tell you. And that's why it was going to be my next question. It was, what's unique about it? Because everybody's got a tequila. The Rock, Mark Wahlberg, everybody's got a tequila. And, and you hear all this stuff about, and then everybody wants to be a tequila connoisseur now. Like, everybody's like, well, I know about this, I know about this. And you're like, okay. And they talk about like preservatives and having all this other stuff and headaches and stuff. So when you start talking about clean tequila, I was like, oh man, I could, because I'm not a tequila drinker because of that, of hangovers and stupid ideas.
Yes.
So now I just get the dumb ideas, so I don't have to worry about the hangover now when I drink this. So, tell us a little bit of what you're talking about that clean. What does that mean? What does that mean for the tequila?
Clean means no chemicals, no sugars, no additives. all 100% natural, because a lot of people, what you consume is what you show in your body. So what you eat is what you show in your body. So I'm thinking alcohol isn't enough rough for your body. So why not to do something is really clean that you can drink, enjoy, and next day you don't have to feel pain. You don't have to suffer. You have to enjoy. That's what I'm always saying. You can drink, get drunk, be happy because you're drunk, but happier next day because you're not having a headaches or hangovers.
Exactly.
So that's the beauty of this product. And also, as people is very sensitive with the stomach. So like me, I'm not good to handle a lot of alcohol. So I want to create something everybody can drink.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was toward to ladies, but later on, we find out guys, rough guys, like tall, strong. They were
Thank you.
in love.
Thank you.
In love with the chocolate
Yes.
and the bananas.
Oh,
So
man.
I was intrigued because I said, I thought just women were gonna drink this, but honestly, it's a lot of people changed their habits for buying some alcohol that it was common for them every week, and they said, now I'm buying Mar Azul because I can drink the whole bottle, and tomorrow I can go to work without being stinky or sick, or I don't have any issues. So they keep buying the product for the same reason. I want something that's a good quality. When you buy one thing is a good quality, you keep buying it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's, for me, it's always been whiskeys. I've always stuck to the same whiskey just because, like I said, that the feeling of hangover, I don't get that. I never drank tequila too much because, you buy those brands that, we won't mention their names, but, everybody's buying, and then, you feel like crap afterwards, or you black out and stuff like that because, it's just terrible. But yeah, I mean, the times we've done the tastings and things like that, I'm like, I feel good. I'm ready to take on the world here. And, and then wake up the next day and go to the gym and be okay. I'm like, okay, all right, I like this. So awesome. So yes, you definitely have multiple flavors. I love the chocolate you're talking about. So thanks for describing me, the guys that like the chocolates. But yeah, the chocolate, the coconut, I love that. The almond was good. The coffee was good. The coffee smells so good.
Yes.
Not a big coffee person, but the way I love what coffee smells, and it was like, as soon as you open that bottle, it's like amazing.
It
Yes.
transports you to a different
Oh
place.
yes.
Right?
Oh yes. Yeah. I told you the one that I don't like, but like 12 out of 13 is not bad. So, it was really, really, but I'm just not was it pomegranate, right?
Pomegranate,
Yeah,
yes.
pomegranate, yeah. That was the one I didn't like that flavor, but I know there's a lot of people that love that kind of flavor
Yes,
too.
it's pomegranate is very peculiar, and it's not everybody, but the true lovers of pomegranate, they told me, please do not change the formula because this is what we love. And actually, you find out a lot of people love the mint.
The mint was pretty decent too. I
Yes.
liked it too. It was
But
good.
I thought it was a little too crazy mint, but at the beginning, and then later on, I found out people just open the bottle and start drinking straight, and I'm going like, wow, just mint by itself, but they true lovers of mint. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you get that tequila lovers, and then to add just that flavoring of people. You okay?
I'm sorry. Yes.
It's okay. I'm getting too excited here about tequila.
Yes.
It's taking control over.
Yep. And so having all that is awesome because you have something for everybody. The clean version is always now with the tequila people that are want to know, that's all they talk about, preservatives and making sure that they have this, make sure they have that.
Well, I
It's
think
like-
as much of the massive production, when people let, as engineers or, chemistries or everybody is involved on that. With Mar Azul, we have I want to be different. Beside everybody, I want to be prepared for this type of a product that, they can go from mother to daughter to son or generations. If something happened to me, my daughter is right there to do. If not, Bobby can do the tequila too. So everybody's prepared to do those type of drinks. And it's a family recipe. it's something you cannot do by measuring.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you make it one, you depend on the flavor.
Yeah.
Because everything is natural. So if the coffee is a little bit dry, your product is, you have to add more coffee
Yeah.
or less coffee, or,
Yeah,
everything
so
is,
everything's got to line up.
it has to be perfect.
So that's perfect. So you know that it's gonna be good if she has every detail down and want to do it. So we got that part. Now the thing that we were excited about is
Bohica?
yes, your
Yes,
bohica.
bohica.
So tell me how that came about. I know you married, all that good stuff. He's a veteran. What gave you the idea to do this?
Well, doing Mar Azul and living a little bit the life in the military with Bobby, like he went to Korea or anywhere he went, I always follow him. So I get a airplane and get in a hotel and make sure I was there for him. So I saw the difference between, a lot of people think, oh, they deploy, so they probably having fun over there. They're not with the family, they don't have the children. But when you go over there and you say, ouch,
Yeah.
that's not how you thought. It is, because they training, they come pretty much crawling on the floor from the pain of training and putting the whole heavy stuff in the bag. Or, I don't know, in Korea, I saw a lot of military guys just really sad. That there's like, some people with their family and some people with no family.
Yeah.
So you can see, you can feel that ambience of they missing home.
Yeah, exactly.
So I thought, well, Bobby is a fourth generation, so probably do something for the military. Thanks to them, and thank you for taking care of the country, because without that service, I think it will be no USA.
Yeah.
So I think I want to do something for them, and I saw Bobby's canteen, and I thought, this is gonna be the best thing to do for them.
Yeah.
And it's, nobody has done nothing for them, so I'm gonna do it. Well, I thought, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't search or
Yeah.
nothing about, but just my heart was go through them, and I thought, well, canteen bottle is everybody have one. That's what Bobby explained me, because he always explained me every single detail of you
Yeah.
guys. And
Yeah,
I
he
want to
loves-
know. I was intrigued how is the military life, right? So I became with the idea. His father helped me with the names, so they put a lot of names, and I circle with 10 to 20 persons, and we becoming, I know what I want, and regardless of what everybody wants, I want to do something fun for them. So I thought Bohica was the best.
Yeah.
And then Bobby, everybody was agreed. Everybody choose Bohica.
Yeah.
So that's how it became
There was like
Bohica.
15 acronyms I listed, and all the people doing the research for us picked Bohica.
Yeah, and the bohica stands for...
Been over, here he comes again.
It's if you Google it, it'll actually show it to you. It's a
Yeah.
Vietnam era acronym from the Army,
Yeah.
actually.
Awesome. Yeah, and then so I mean, the canteen, you had a great story about that.
Yeah, the canteen she was talking about was actually my father's canteen. I used to put it in my duffel bags and take it over there, and sometimes I stick it in my bags because he was like, this thing, to me, it was always like a good luck charm for him, he thought,
Yeah.
for some reason. So he gave it to me, and he says, I know you're going to be going a lot. Everything's ramping up. So I used to take his canteen, stick it in my luggage, and take it with me all the time. And I still have it. And she took it down to Guadalajara. She took it to the glass factory there. They even put the upraised lettering on it, just like with
Yeah,
a military
that's
canteen.
awesome.
But it
Yeah.
says for tequila use instead of water.
Instead of water.
But she did a really good job with the research. We had people in New York helping us with this brand development, and it's just weird how everybody came together and picked the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. It was weird. We couldn't believe everybody. I mean, people in other states not even talking to each other about it. Just
Yeah.
we're just giving the info, and they all picked Bohica. Everybody thought it just had that kind of sound that would make a good tequila name. And we have people coming up to us sometimes saying, "Is that Aztec or Mayan or indigenous?" No, it's an Army acronym. Like,
Yeah.
they just think Bohica. It sounds like it could be like an indigenous word.
Yeah, and then the bottle caps. Man, you guys see this? They have real canteen bottle caps.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
made by the company that makes them for DoD up in Georgetown. And
Yes.
she
Yeah.
researched that. Her and our daughter. Our daughter's really amazing at the research finding stuff. And we went up to Georgetown, talked to them, and they show those to them, and she buys those here in the U.S. and they're sent down, and everything's packaged there in Arandas and Jalisco, where the factory is.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah. So pick this up. You can find this one at, we said the Spirit. Is it still
Alamo
at
City Liquors,
Alamo City Liquors?
Some Specs, and the Randall.
The Randolph convenience store, right?
Convenience
Right. The
store.
one in front
Yes.
by the commissary?
Commissary, yes.
Okay. Yes. So pick this up, support this bottle. It's awesome. This is for all my military collectors. This is one for the you need to have. Need to have it. So, I mean, just I want to thank you guys for coming today. I really appreciate talking about the tequila, talking about learning about you guys. I do want to pick your brain though. I want you to, for all the military spouses that are out there, you know, supporting their vets and doing that, but having your mentality to start your own business while supporting your husband while he's deployed and things like that. What advice would you give a spouse that's thinking about already with the chaos with keeping the house in check, making sure your spouse is good, and then trying to figure it out, and then to open up your own business? What encouragement or what kind of advice would you give a spouse that? Because it can be a man or a woman. So
It really is choose what you want to do. You really need to find out what is you want to be in love. If you're in love with your family and your husband, that is easy. But find what you love to do so you can do with passion. I think if you find exactly what you want to do, stick to that. And you're never going to find the first time, because I went through many business. I succeeded in some, I fell in another ones. But no matter how many times you fail, just stand up, keep going. If one door closed, the next one will open. And just stick to those. Be persistent, be strong, and don't wait for anybody to support you.
yes.
Do it yourself.
Awesome.
If you don't do it yourself, nobody's going to come and do it.
Yeah.
But if somebody come and help you, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, on that note, I thank you guys for showing up. Please support them. Alamo City Liquors, some spirit stores, a Total Wine you said as well, and then on Randolph. Go on Randolph, pick up the bottle, and post, visit the Mar Azul website, social media. Pick up a bottle. Tell them, hey, I saw this on Veteran SA, and thank you guys for supporting that. So awesome. And then any events that you guys are doing? Anything coming up?
We coming to the Valero.
Valero
Alamo
Bowl?
Bowl, yes. So the Villarreal Alamo Bowl in December. Usually at the end of December it happens. So we have a huge, hosted by Hero Hut, huge tailgating party. You guys will have a stand out there. They'll do some sampling, some tasting. So if you want to come out and taste it there at that time too, definitely more than welcome to come out for that as well.
Yeah, we try to get involved with most of the events that we can here in San Antonio. Sometimes they get booked up. Some you got to get like a year ahead of time to get scheduled into them. So we try to support a lot of stuff with the city itself too.
Yep.
And if there's anything going on veteran-wise, we're more than happy to come out and support.
Yeah, definitely look them up, reach out to them, and if you have an event and want them to come showcase their stuff out there, definitely do that.
We'd be happy.
Yeah, they have a really great backdrop picture. Oh,
Yeah, we have a few of them that are good,
like
but
it.
there's
I
one
like it.
everybody
I like
loves. Yeah, there's one that stands
I like
out.
it. So yeah, definitely look at it. Check out our website. I have it posted. You'll see it. But thank you very much for coming. We appreciate you guys. Looking forward to our partnership together and selling some tequila.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
All
for
right,
having
thank
us.
you.
We
Thank you for
really
having
enjoyed
us.
being
You're
here.
welcome. You're welcome. All right, thank you. So that's it for the Veteran SA podcast today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Again, we want to pay homage to our sponsor, Game Day, Men's Health at Alamo Ranch, and now New Braunfels. And in our special partner here with Mar Azul Tequila with the new line Bohica. Pick it up at Specs, Alamo City Liquors, and the Randolph gas station, convenience store gas station, I guess you could say. So go pick it up there and go to the Class 6 and tell them, hey, I need to pick up some Bohica tequila, please, and make that request. Get them on base.
Tell them Veteran SA sent you.
Veteran SA. Thanks, Career Point. Yeah, and, definitely support them. veteran owned, military spouse, just so great thing that, we support them and help them get their business going. All right. Thanks a lot. We'll see you. Thank you.
Don't forget to pick up the magazine.
Yes, pick up the magazine. Out.